Now all new at 6, Delinquent on duty. The top brass of Miami-Dade County reacts to the CBS4 Investigator story, sending shockwaves across South Florida. It's the talk of South Florida tonight. Officers caught on camera being delinquent on duty.
You're talking about Channel 4? The Channel 4 investigation?
Now at 6, Miami-Dade's top brass reacts to this squad's outrageous behavior. Good evening, I'm Shannon Horry.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. The story first reported right here on CBS4, and it's sending shockwaves around South Florida.
It's an investigation led by our own Jim DeFede for more than a year now, and Jim joins us with more. Jim?
It was the first day on the job for Miami-Dade's new police director, J.D. Patterson, but he was already having to answer some tough questions.
We want to send a message that is not acceptable. It isn't.
The new Miami-Dade police director, J.D. Patterson, reacting to our story last night about a squad of lazy cops caught on surveillance video ducking calls. The furor over the CBS4 investigation, which showed one officer canoodling with his girlfriend and another shopping, was evident following Patterson's swearing-in ceremony as reporters swarmed around Mayor Carlos Gimenez for comment.
Your reaction to the investigation that came out yesterday?
You're talking about Channel 4? The Channel 4 investigation?
That's the one.
That's something that we took care of about in August.
As both Gimenez and Patterson pointed out, 3 of the officers were fired in early September, and the others were given suspensions without pay. Gimenez described the officers' actions as the lowest of the low.
You're letting your coworker pick up your slack because you basically don't want to work. That's pretty despicable. The fact that you're not providing the service that we're paying you for and that the citizens deserve, and then the fact that you're also doing it to your own fellow officers, it's a pretty low act.
Patterson said he was heartened by the fact that the department had cleaned up its own mess in this case, but acknowledged it does affect the department's reputation.
So it does, in fact, impact the level of trust that certain members of our community have for us. But for those of us who are here, again, we're challenged to still build that trust, to still work and maintain that trust.
Former police director Jim Loftus, who fired the officers in his final act as director, told CBS4 News that he doesn't believe there is a widespread problem in the department.
But I was concerned enough to put some additional checks into place, some kind of checks that I never thought that we would do, integrity checks. Because of this case, Internal Affairs will now randomly follow officers to make sure they're going to calls. It really goes to the marrow of what we do. And if you don't want to go to calls, then don't sign up for the place. And don't wear a badge. I don't want to be melodramatic about it, but that's a really minimum requirement. We tell you you need to go, you go.
Jim, great story. What are the rank and file officers saying about the possibility of having GPS devices put in their cars to know where they're going?
Well, look, the vast majority of officers I've spoken to, and I've spoken to quite a few over the last few days, they don't have a problem with this because they know that they do their job, they do it well. Now they don't want to be nickeled and dimed on things, but by and large, they understand that these were rogue officers. They reported them internally in the department, so they feel confident that this is an isolated incident and they can move on from here.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim. Great story. Well, once again, tune in tonight at 11 for part 2 of Delinquent on Duty. You'll hear more from former police director Jim Loftus, who made sure that those officers were fired on his watch. Plus, we will highlight other incidents of these officers finding other things to do rather than answer calls for help.